Hey everybody, it's Pastor Ernest with Yahweh'sFlatEarth.com. Look, I received a ticket, and the reason I received a ticket is because apparently the writing on my windows actually impedes the usage of the vehicle. I mean, forget the plates, that's not even the issue here. It's actually constitutional speech that has gotten me a ticket for impeding the operation of a motor vehicle, which this is not a motor vehicle. This is something that I travel in, preaching the gospel, as you can clearly see. Yahweh'sFlatEarth.com. Let's look inside and see if it actually impedes the operation of the vehicle. So looking in, you can see out from every single direction. Yeah, so not sure what he's talking about. This ticket right here, it's not going to pass. Couple of things: if you're in the state of Massachusetts and you get pulled over, you want to make the police identify themselves immediately, because district attorneys and county attorneys have actually thrown out cases where police did not identify themselves. And in one case, a person was drunk and had the charges dismissed. So very important that you make the police identify themselves. Each city and town shall issue to every full-time police officer employed by it an identification card bearing the officer's photograph and identifying information. And down at the bottom, it says that such identification card shall be carried on the officer's person and shall be exhibited upon lawful request for purposes of identification. And this proves that police officers must identify themselves. What am I being pulled over for?
Driving without registration plates.
I'm not driving.
Okay. You're not driving?
No, I'm traveling.
Let me get your license and registration, please, sir.
Can I see your police ID? 90.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 98D of the Massachusetts General Code. You have a police identification.
Okay, so you're not going to give me your license and registration?
I'm just asking you to identify yourself according to 98D of the Massachusetts General
Code. I'm not
Code.
going to have an argument with you on the side of the road about it. If you think that I'm doing anything wrong...
No, I just want to see your ID. That's all.
At the conclusion of this traffic stop, feel free to file whatever complaint you like. Right now, I'm asking you for a license and registration.
You're being recorded. I need to see 3 forms of identification.
Okay. I need to see a license and registration, sir.
For what? What am I being pulled over for? What crime have I committed?
Your license plate's obscure.
I'm an out-of-state resident. That's not illegal in my state.
It is in Massachusetts.
I'm not a Massachusetts driver.
You're
Call
in
a
Massachusetts,
supervisor.
So you're following by the laws of Massachusetts.
I'm not driving.
I need to see a license and registration. Failure to produce your license and registration could result in you being arrested.
Just so you know, the Supreme Court has ruled I need not show you a driver's license if no crime is committed.
You're out of state.
Mr. Payne, please call. Please, okay. I'm not a driver.
I need your license and
I'm not a driver.
You're not driving?
No, sir. I'm traveling.
W, send me another one, please.
I'm traveling.
I need your license and registration. Sir?
Yes, sir.
This will go much easier.
I understand
if you
that.
just produce your license and registration. Okay?
And when proper supervisors come, my car is legal. When
it's not legal.
It is.
At the very minimum, you're going to receive a citation for driving with an obscured license plate.
Well, if that's your choice to violate,
if you continue to refuse
violate
to produce
the
your driver's license and registration,
I'm not
then it
a
could
driver.
Get worse from there.
I'm not a driver. I'm not refusing. What I am saying is produce 3 forms of identification that the federal law requires you to show me. I have been harassed. I don't care. I've been harassed by the Mossad, and I will not take this. 3 forms of identification.
Mossad are in Israel, correct?
No,
we're in Massachusetts,
here. 3 forms. First, you show me yours.
Shut your car off. Put the keys on the dashboard. Leave the window open. Keep your hands up here on the wheel.
I'm getting my documentation, all right?
Put your hands up here on the wheel.
Don't reach into my car. That's illegal.
Put your hands up on the wheel.
That's illegal. Don't reach into my car.
What you're doing is illegal.
No, I'm not. I'm actually showing you the law right here.
Sir.
Call your supervisor.
You're in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I know. Call your supervisor, and we will discuss the law.
If you want my supervisor down here, it's going to not end well for you. I can promise you.
Well, it's already not going to end well. You're threatening me.
W, this individual is requesting a supervisor.
There's no reason to
Do
treat
you have a
me.
driver's license?
Maybe I do. Do you have identification? I want.
Yeah, you see it right here.
I don't
You
care.
see it right
Please,
here.
the federal law requires you to show me your identification.
Oh.
How you doing? Are you a supervisor?
No, I'm not. I'm his
on.
backup.
You're his partner. I'm not going to come out until a supervisor gets here. No, but I will honor your request when you honor
No, you
mine.
already failed. Refused to honor
You
my
did.
request.
I asked you first for 3 forms of identification.
We don't,
This
this is our
That's a
identification.
federal law.
This is it.
If you show me
You see it
yours,
right
I will
here.
show you mine.
My badge
And your
number's
supervisor,
284, my last name
okay,
is Payne. That's all
according
you
to
need.
according to federal law, you're to show me your identification,
This is
a
it.
card. Do you have a business card?
No.
Sir?
You don't have a business card?
So you're gonna get arrested based on the
This
fact
isn't
you won't
going
give
well
us
for you.
your identification.
Well, I haven't
That's what
committed
you're
a crime.
required to do.
I haven't committed a crime. Statutes are not crimes. Now, look, I asked him if I could reach right down there and get a paper. May I do that?
Paper for what?
To explain
No.
myself. May I
No.
do that?
No.
So you're going to refuse me to explain myself?
You've already explained yourself.
What is this
I
about?
have no idea. Was this
What
backed
was the
out here in the parking lot last week?
Yep.
There was a different sign on it, though.
No, not last week, about 3 weeks ago.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So what's
He was driving around with his license plate covered up with a piece of paper that says flatearth.com or something like that.
Oh, is it covered now?
Yeah. Yeah, just leave it on there. We'll let 188 come down here. That's going to end poorly for this individual.
Now, would you take this, please? That's the federal
need to
Supreme
read it.
Court law.
I don't need to read it. But when an officer asks for identification and you're operating a motor
I haven't
vehicle,
broken a
have
law.
to
Are
give
you a
it.
supervisor, DeLong?
No. And
What
you've
I
refused
asked
to
you,
do
what I
so.
asked you is to show me yours first. This is federal
not how
law.
it
This
works.
isn't
A
how
business
it works, sir.
card. A business card.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you to produce a business card.
Understand this. We are not required to provide a business card.
According to federal law, you are.
We don't work with
Your
federal law,
supervisor.
we're state.
Yes, and federal law adjourns state law.
All right, just so
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Is it already afternoon?
It
By about
is.
2 hours.
It is.
I'm a peaceful man. I
Good.
just want to assert my constitutional right to travel down the road unmolested by what are called officers working for profit.
Okay.
I've said, I've already gone to court for covering my plates
Yeah.
in 3 different parts of the state.
Yeah.
Each time I quote the federal law, gets dismissed.
How does that work? I have to get dismissed? Yeah.
It gets dismissed.
Okay.
So then you have to set precedent.
Yeah.
The first time you go to court, this is going to be the issue. I get cited, even warned. I go to court. Well, I can't go to court if I get warned.
Right, yeah.
Right. So if I get cited for something, I go before the master. I set precedents. Bring the letter back to your department. That letter literally will clear me and set a standard. And that's what I'm hoping to do.
Okay.
Well,
Well, right now we don't have that letter or that standard, so I'm sure you can understand what standard we use. You've been through it before.
Yeah, I didn't like how your officers put their hands on me on camera, wouldn't let me get into my bag, violate my rights, assault me when no crime has been committed.
How did they put their hands on you?
Well, once we're done and I'm released, I will happily start the video and show you. I'd be
Would
more
you
than
like to
happy
file an
I-
official complaint?
Absolutely, I'm going
Okay.
to. There's no reason to put your hands on a person when no crime's committed. A driver violation is not a crime. I'm a traveler. I'm traveling in this automobile. I'm not for
Right.
hire. And I quoted the federal law to him. I quoted the state law to him.
Well, we can have a difference of opinion about whether or not it's legal for you to cover your plate.
Amen. But we cannot have a different legal opinion about an officer putting his hands on you.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I
And-
feel it was probably out of concern for their own safety.
Well, I told him I'm a safe man. I'm not
Well,
violent.
I understand that you can say that, but that doesn't mean they don't know you, you don't know them.
I just
so,
asked him for an ID. I
Yeah.
said, listen, I've been harassed by police.
Yeah.
Show me your
Well, all I can say
business
is
card.
if
Do
you
you have a
want-
business card?
If you want to file an official complaint, you have to come to the station.
I'll
There's
do
a
that.
form
Right,
that you
right.
fill out.
I've
and
done it
stuff.
before.
Yeah.
Do you have a business card?
Probably.
May I see it?
Why?
Because it's part of the law. You're to show me a business card. I don't know if you guys
I've never
dress.
seen that law anywhere.
I could quote it to you.
Well, you can quote it, but I've never seen it.
But see, officers,
I can show you my police ID.
that would be great. That's all I asked him to do. I asked your officer to show me his ID.
Well, at
and
the
I
time of the traffic stop, he's trying to deal with the reason he stopped you.
you know what you might be under a certain impression of what we need to do. but it's false.
Look.
Okay? It's false.
Don't reach into anything.
And he doesn't know who you are or whether or not you're safe or anything else.
May I show it to the camera? And then, of course, anytime they try to pull me over and they say that my plates are not on the vehicle, well, this is the law right here that they're quoting, which is section 90 verse 6, and it says display of number plates. Every motor vehicle or trailer registered under this chapter 90 verse 6, and I always say this right here, I am not a Massachusetts resident. This vehicle preaches the gospel. It's pretty simple. And the next one that I have, you know, is if they do try to tell me once again that the writing on my windows is impeding the use of the motor carriage, well, what about everybody that puts just married on their windows? You know, there's nothing being impeded upon here except my right to travel and my right to preach the gospel where I'm not breaking any laws. So this is just a short video I wanted to make to explain to you, one, you don't need a driver's license, and if they do ask you for your registration, you don't have to provide it even and the reason being right here is because as long as you never let go of this title, as long as you keep it, this is your registration. This is proof that you own this vehicle. This is proof that it was purchased in your state, and that is sufficed information for the courts of law. You own the vehicle. A ruling came out of Pennsylvania, Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. No state shall convert a liberty into a license and charge a fee therefor. And, of course, Shuttlesworth versus the city of Birmingham, if the state converts a right or a liberty into a privilege, a citizen can ignore the license and the fee and engage in the right liberty with impunity. And, you know, these driving statutes that they want to hold us under, well, there you go. A statute does not trump the Constitution, and it is settled that the streets belong to the people of a state, and the use thereof is an inalienable right of every citizen of the state. So enforce your rights, people. They're there for you. And let me tell you something, the police, they're not going to help you at all.